Hey cuties, PeachY here, welcome back to a new video, and in this video we have some Monster High news to talk about. From our first look at a unknown mysterious Abby G1 prototype to the new scary Skulltimate Secrets Series 8 Cupid doll unboxed, first full look at the new Claudine doll's outfit and more, so stay tuned, like, share, comment, subscribe, hit the notification bell, consider becoming a channel member today. Link to join is down below if you're able to, of course, no pressure, and so you do not miss out when I post more content like this coming your way and keeping you up to date with all the dollty you love. But for now, let's get into it. Okay, let's start off with the first look here at a unknown G1 Abby prototype. Now, these pictures were shared by Dollies with Tati, and I guess they somehow acquired this G1 Abby head prototype. The rest of the outfit and the body, shoes, etc., those are not part of the prototype. The only actual prototype is the head, so just keep that in mind. That's why the outfit is reused from Scary Sweet Screams Draculaura, I believe. So yes, but the head is like a whole new thing. We've never seen it before. The face also is like hand drawn, I believe, and the hair rooting. The hat is like fabric and definitely unlike anything we've ever seen Abby wear. The whole vibe definitely reminds me of, like, you know, Sweet Screams Abby. There was a Sweet Screams Abby, right? So it reminds me of that, or perhaps also the Freak do Chic, or like kind of like that kind of theme where it's like very carnival-esque. I don't think Abby had a Freak do Chic doll, but maybe this was it. Maybe she was gonna be like a witch character, you know, because the hat does kind of remind me of a witch kind of hat. It even has a buckle, so the spider also is very interesting. But to me, it's interesting how they would pair up the witch looking hat with this kind of color scheme, you know, red, white, green. That kind of reads more like Christmas to me than Halloween or witchy vibes. So again, I'm not really sure what this Abby was supposed to be, or maybe she was just a, you know, scrapped early concept of what could have been a early version of Sweet Screams Abby, but then, you know, it changed over time. So maybe she was never supposed to look like this, you know, maybe this is just a scrapped early, you know, kind of work in progress kind of head where they wanted to test out some color schemes and the hat. But yeah, I don't know, the hat is interesting because it's like fabric and it looks like finished, you know, like the spider. So there's definitely something here, but I'm not sure what exactly. Again, also the color scheme is throwing me off because, like, why pair a witch hat with this kind of color scheme? But again, maybe they were just playing around with like these colors for what eventually would be, you know, Sweet Screams Abby, but I'm not sure. Again, credits go to Dollies with Tati. What do you think of this Abby prototype head for G1? Yeah, this is G1 Abby back in 2010s, 15s. This is not going to be a new Abby doll. I don't think so. So this is just a really old prototype of, again, mysterious Abby doll. Moving on to Skulltimate Secrets Series 8 news here. We, first off, we have new pictures of the packaging for both Cupid and Claudine's packaging, and we do get a better look at the back where it shows us a full outfit for what Claudine will be wearing. So we kind of get a better impression of Claudine's outfit here. It looks good, but again, it's just the artwork, and as we see with the actual real life unboxed pictures of Cupid and here with the artwork of Cupid, you know, it does look different. So I do think Claudine will look similar, obviously, but we also don't really know what her second pair of, you know, like what her second skirt, second shoes, you know, like all of that. We have yet to see actual, you know, unboxed pictures of Claudine, but hopefully maybe those will come out soon. But we also have leaked like a prototype pieces of Claudine and Cleo's belt from Monsteristas. So these belt pieces do look really cool. I'm intrigued to see more of Claudine, to be honest. And then we get to the unboxed pictures of Cupid thanks to user Scare Source on Instagram. Apparently, they even hunted down the like delivery truck like to get her as soon as possible. So they are the real deal. Thank you so much to user Scare Source on Instagram for sharing all of these pictures with all of us to enjoy. Because again, I'm not really sure when officially these Series 8 dolls will be dropping. I don't think it's supposed to be soon. It might be in May. But it's weird because the theming of the series is cold, winter, cozy camping vibes. And now we're getting into spring, summer. So it's just that the timing is kind of off for the theming being like this. But I do think by like middle summer, these should be released. If not autumn, fall perhaps is the really official release date of the Series 8 dolls. But only time will tell. Again, thanks to Scare Source once again for sharing. But these, wow, Cupid here unboxed. Looks amazing. I mean, there's definitely a couple of differences with first core Cupid, you know, the legs, the patterns, the ombre, the translucency, that's different on Cupid, you know. Then the shoes have details. I like the shoes. The scarf has like these like a tassel fringe. The purse is like detailed on one side. And the face screening, I would say, is actually very similar to the original Cupid face application. It's just a bit different with the eye placement. But yeah, Cupid looks surprisingly really good. To me, it's the small details, like with the wings, you know, and the legs. Those two things being so different on this new doll make her seem a bit cheaper. Because core Cupid, for all intents purposes, right, she was Scary Sweet Birthday, but it's core Cupid, right? So on that doll, the gradient on the legs is much more seamless and it's like airbrushed, right? There's no harsh ending between the translucent black and the otherwise like porcelain pink looking like white skin tone. And then the wings also have no details here on the new one, unlike with the older one. The face screening is similar. I think I prefer the new face screening just because a side glance to me is something about that. It's just so magical. But I also feel like the makeup is actually very similar, both versions. The hair, I probably prefer the new version's hair, to be honest, just because it looks better executed. The curly bangs on the original Cupid, obviously we all know how those came out. They were too high up, and also the ponytail, the curls just lay really flat on core Cupid. With this new hairstyle for Cupid, at least we don't have this kind of issue. You know, the hairstyle is laying how it's supposed to. Although I don't love the beret, the, you know, plastic hat. It's supposed to be shaped like a heart, you know, and it has this little like white tuft that's molded on in the center. But the way the two bumps come out on the front, it looks funny. It looks like she has like a bulbous forehead, you know? So I don't love the execution of the cap, you know, the hat. I like the idea, but it's not there. It just, to me, it looks weird. But I do like the fabrics overall used for the skirts, the little cardigan, you know, sweater, and then the top, right? Those look really nice. But it kind of sucks that you're basically just getting one top. Like, at least with the last series, you did get a little bit more, you know, leeway with the scarf. And I believe the last series also had like an extra, like 2 proper tops, right? So here, you really just have one top and then like a jacket, right? So that's weird because like you really only you get one top, that's it. So I wish they had included a second top, because now you are kind of restricted with what you can do, like mix and match wise with the included outfit pieces, because you're always gonna have to have the pink top on. That's, you know, without that she has nothing on. So you got the pink top on, and then you can have it by itself, just the top, or the cardigan. So you basically have two options of how you can wear the tops. So that could, to me, that kind of is a bit of a disappointment, but I do like the two skirts, although they are kind of simple. You know, I do like the woven texture on one of the skirts with the pattern. The blue, I have seen people say they really do not like the blue accents on her outfit, the skirt, the belt. I guess I see where they're coming from. I don't know why they keep including blue for Cupid here. It does feel like a bit out of place. Like, where does the blue come from? You know, maybe her eye color, maybe like that's where it comes from. I'm not sure. But yeah, also I do love the hand sculpting on the second pair, where it's like she's wearing gloves. I think that's really sweet. I like the scarf. So there's a lot to love here with this new Cupid, but I think overall execution wise, I guess I would say that I prefer the original Cupid, just because the legs and how the gradient was done with the original Cupid, that looks better to me. And also the wings, the airbrush detail on those original wings looks better to me. But aside for those two details, I guess outfit wise, we do have more here with the new Cupid. I do like the hair on the new Cupid, and also the face expression I prefer. So I guess I'm kind of like half and half. Like, there's things I like about original Cupid, but also things I like here with the new version. So I don't know, it's kind of tough to choose. What do you think? How do you feel? Do you like the new Cupid more than the original one, even with the downgrade of the legs and the wings not being as detailed? Or do you agree that they should have kind of been able to give those details also here on this Cupid? It is weird how with both Cupid and Laguna from last series, they whenever it comes to like the translucency with the legs and the gradient, they seem to just give, you know, the harsh kind of cut off, like, you know, like they don't have that kind of seamless gradient anymore. They just give the doll like the full-on translucent legs, right? So that's just, yeah, maybe it's just not in the budget. Maybe it costs a lot of money to do the airbrushing details. But overall, I mean, again, she looks great. And I guess Series 8 was designed by Annalise. So yeah, good job, Annalise. I do think overall she looks great. What do you think? Yeah, I do feel bad for Claudine though, because now it feels like whenever she gets unboxed, no one's really gonna care as much like with Cupid here. And it makes sense because this was Cupid's second ever doll in G3, so obviously there's gonna be hype. You know, unlike with Claudine, this is her like what 10th doll, so she's had many releases by now, so she's just not as interesting. And I do think there's potential here, and especially, you know, whenever we do get those unboxed pictures of Claudine, hopefully, you know, she looks great, right? But until then, I guess there's just not really much to see here with Claudine in her kind of base outfit here. But overall, I do think Series 8 is really cozy feeling. It just feels a bit empty with two characters. It doesn't feel as much of like an event than it used to, you know? It just feels a bit smaller in scale, and I guess, you know, Mattel, that's what they're going for? I'm not really sure. Also, like, what kind of theme will they do next? You know, we had Oasis, which was beach themed. We had Cabin Staycation, which was, you know, cozy winter theme. What theme could they do next? You know, they did the main two themes, which is beach and winter. What's next? Fall, but what could that look like? So I am very curious. And thanks again to user Scaresource on Instagram for sharing all of these pictures with all of us. But that was the video. I hope you all enjoyed, and let me know what you think down below. Leave a like, share, comment, subscribe, hit the notification bell, hype this video, cuties. Consider becoming a channel member today. Link to join is down below if you're able to, of course, to support a channel that way, no pressure. And so you do do not miss out when I post more content like this coming your way and keeping you up to date with all the doll tea you love. Also, thank you to all my currently subscribed members. I see you and I appreciate you so much. Stay safe, be kind. I hope this next time stay peachy. Kisses.